Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So today we will recreate this thing that I did here. And this came, so the idea came, or the question came from a guy who has seen the live stream from Rocketlasso from Schmidt. I gave you here a link. And Schmidt shows in his live stream how to make such such a pin art toy here, and he shows his way. Link, as I said, in the description. And I got the question if there is an easier way to do this. And Chris' way is a really nice way, but it's a little complicated. And the problem here is, with this thing, you can push the nails out here, but if you go back with your object, they don't go back anymore. As far as I have seen this, I just had a short look at it. And so, yeah, I show you the way I did my thing here. So you know all these things here, this pin art things. And so I want to show you how I did my approach here. So you see, this is let's go on, and this is from the front, and then I made this Easter bunny here, and this is with this rotation wouldn't be possible with Chris' method, I think. And yeah, so let's try it. The next thing with my approach here is it works good for objects with soft edges, but not with hard edges. I'll show you why. Good, so let's start. First, I would say we make I show you the trick I did it, and then we will tinker a little around to make a nice pin, so where we can change anything, the size, the length, the head and everything, just with a little with our user data, and play around a little. Yeah, the thing behind what I did is a quite easy one. So I make here a simple cylinder for now, for that this should be our pin, and plus C, and make it radius 2, height 100, so something like that. Okay, don't need here anything. And what I want is that the bottom point here is on the 0 axis, on the null axis, and you could do this if you make it editable and put the axis down, or you give it a null and then drag the cylinder in front and just clone the null later. But we are in R25 and we have this wonderful node here. This one I really love, and this is this geometry axis. If you use this as a deformer here, as a child here, and then you can simply go to the Z axis and push it in front, and that's it. That's a really nice thing. So we don't need for our test here. 8 is enough here. So now I hide this for the moment. I think this is our pin. Whoops. And now I make a simple polygon in plus C. And here in the polygon it's easy to make subdivisions, so segments. Go to 100 segments so that I have something to deform. 100 should be enough for now. And now let's say I want simply to drag out, and I start with a simple sphere, so just to see the technique. E for the spheres, give it some more things, 48. And yeah, later on I will put the sphere in a null object and make the null object a collider. So then everything what I put in the null object will be a collider, and so we can use it. But for now, just what I did. So I give the polygon here an collision deformer as a child, and the collision with the colliders here, this should be the sphere, and I go to outside here. So go to my sphere, and when I drag the sphere inside, you see, so this looks a little weird, so let's hide the sphere for the moment, and you see that works. We can go to the collision and try to, with advanced, we can try to make this a little better contours. So yeah, that looks much better. And some steps don't do anything with this, so we can go to relax a little bit. No, this does in this case nothing. So, but I don't wanna stretch it, so I want to stretch this as least as possible. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, and yeah, and now I simply clone on this one here, on this plane, on this polygon. So I go to my pin, hold my Alt key and click on the cloner, and say not a grid, please. So we should see the pin. Please clone on an object. The object should be our polygon here. And you see we have a slightly problem here. First of all, I use multi-instances, so I have a faster workflow here in the viewport. Then I go from surface to polygon center. And you see it looks, in NA heights, looks a little weird, but this is easy to fix. We just go to align clones and take it off, and now we have our things here. And that works great here. See, when I drag this here in, zip, comes out. But of course, if you go too far out, it does not work. But if you go to here, so, and you have a nice thing here. And it works perfect, and it works fast, and it works perfect, and everything. But as I said, if you do this with things with hard edges, like let's say we delete this sphere and make instead a cube. So make a cube, bring the cube down here, so, and bring the cube as a collider, and drag the cube inside here. You see, yeah, that works better than I thought it will, but you see it takes some here. Normally it should go without this row, with this outer row, but because of the deformer here, it is a little softer, so, but it works quite well, so that's okay. Good. So delete the cube, and let's get something funnier. It's go to the, I have in my, let's see what I have here. See, this is the boss bunny here. We can use the bunny, why not? Bunny is funny. Funny bunny, bunny funny. Or let's try it with hand gestures. Let's the Spock hand, let's try the Spock hand. So first of all, the Spock hand has to be in this direction here. Shift, so 90 degrees. Then it has to be bigger. Let's disable the clone. T for scale and make the head a little bigger. Okay. And let's see what we get. Because of this thumb, it could be that we get some problems here with the collision. And so we can try different things later. So let's go. And I put my, I give a null object here in the, this is the collider. And everything what I put in this null will be later the collider. So this is easier. I don't have that go any time to this collider tag here. So I drag this null inside and that should work. So you can now drag the collider null or the hand directly, that's on you. Let's go a little back here with the null and so again rotate it 90 degrees. So and let's see what we get. See, yeah, it goes through here. It kind of works, but this is because of this stretch here. Yeah, that looks better. But the thumb goes far too. Yeah, well, not every object works with this. That looks not so bad, but let's see if we get something better. Let's go out here and try a different inside stretch. Sometimes works, but with inside stretch we have to go here to -C and go to the collider and try this. Yeah, that looks much. That is much better. This is much better. Okay, let's try this. So when I now go to my cloner, and that definitely works very nice. Okay, that's it. And so it works with hard edges almost as well. So that's great. My original I did not like this. I did it with outside and so, but now you see the inside stretch here works much better. Okay, that's great. So let's try a different, another collider for fun. So go out here, bring this backhand out, and bring in the bunny. I wanted the bunny. What do I have here in the characters? Well, let's stay with the bunny. This would be nice too, but I think that wouldn't work because it's not closed, the whole thing. Let's try this. So I want here in the body. What to? Where is? See, center. Axis center. Axis center. Execute. So yeah, okay. Bring it in my collider null here and oops. So okay. And make the body bigger. T for escape. I think the body, yeah, it's open everywhere, so that is not really a closed volume. So let's see if this works. Go to the collider and drag it inside. Well, it seems, yeah, it works too. It works great. Okay, that's much better with this inside stretch. Okay, let's save this. Save to pin art toy, but you see this is my thing. Pin art toy tutorial. So okay, and to the last, because we get our Easter is coming, so let's make the bunny. I will give you the two other things we had as well, so that patron can download the project file later. So I'll drag this in, so, and hide it, and this hand gesture with this book hand I give you also, so okay, this is, let's make a folder, backup, and you will find this in the backup folder then. So, okay, and now I bring the boss bunny in here, so make it bigger, T for scale, let's see how big it is. Yeah, that's okay. Oops. Let's go. I'm not to pick up the collider and drag it inside. Yes. And the good thing with this technique is you can nicely, you should be able now nicely to rotate this. So rotate the bunny. It works perfect. And this wouldn't be possible with the slider thing from Chris, because the slider goes out, but if you go back later, so they wouldn't stay at place, I think. Sorry if it's not so, I haven't watched the tutorial, but I think it will be like this. So, okay. Now let's make some nice, save this, some nice pins so that we can play with the pins. Because the good thing here is we can make another nice or a higher resolution of this, so you get a much better result. So as more polygons, as higher we go here, let's say we go to 150, of course, but now our pins have to be smaller, of course. So that, and if we go now with the collider inside this, you get much better resolution, of course. Let's bring in here the SSAO, so we should see it better. Okay, that looks really nice. Look at this. Okay, save it and go back with the collider. I stay with the bunny now like this, so I go to here so that I don't touch. Okay, and go with the collider to my coordinates, and you see I'm in the z-axis, and I wanna freeze my z-axis. So when I go to freeze here, the position, I'm here, it's 0. It's easier to animate later, because when I move it forward and then I want to go back, so I just have to go back to 0. It's not to 76 blah blah blah. Okay, save again. I always save, can't save too often. Let's create a nice pin for our cloner. So I don't want to use this one, so I can simply hide everything for the moment. I don't need this, I don't need this. So I start with a simple circle spline here. And the circle spline is, this should be the radius of our pin. So this is quite small, so let's start with the radius of 2 maybe. So, and I extrude this guy here. So this is good here, and I extrude it. You don't have to make this, but I want to make a pin in which I can change the size and everything that I want. Where is my extrude? Here is my extrude. Extrude 100 is okay in this case. Let's bring back the lines so that we see something. I don't need, on the pin itself, I don't need so many substitutions. This is more than enough, and on this one I don't need caps at all. So, and the next one is, I need the head of the pin. So I simply copy this one, steal it out, and I extrude this one as well. So make another extrude here. But I want to extrude this in the other direction. So first of all, I need an extrude of maybe 2. Yeah. And as I said, I want to extrude in the other direction, but so I have to go in minus. But I don't want to work with minus values here. So let's go to this circle here and try to simply reverse it. So now we go in the correct direction. Great. And here I make this one now a radius of, let's say, 5. And I have my pin head. Here we don't have to be connected. We don't see it because we look for the other side. So this, we don't need a bevel here or something else. We don't have to be connected, nothing at all. So now I put these 2 extrudes in a connect object. So make a connect object. So this, so they become, come out here, they become simply one object. So this is our pin. Good so far. And here I want this pin with this end on the null here. So let's try with our nice. You can put this in the null and then drag the pin forward or something. But what I want to do is, again, using my nice nodes modifier, and go to the axis. Here I bring it in, and the key, go to the z-axis, and whoops, I am here. Fun thing here is, should be at least, when I go to this extrude and make it smaller, you see the head follows. This is the fun thing when we work in a connector. So this is a very nice thing. Okay, so let's now make some user data. Here on the pin I want more subdivisions so that it looks rounder, and here I want some rounding as well on the caps here. So let's see, okay, 0.5 or something else. Yep, nice. And now I make some user data. Let's make a null object for name it pin control. You can name it, of course, however you want, but I name it pin control, sounds great. And what do we want to control? So let's go to our user data, manage user data. First of all, I want a new group that's called pin control and not user data. So let's make a new group, drag it out of here. So now we get the name of this pin control. Okay, we wanna control the length of the pin and the radius of the pin, the height of the head, the radius of the head, and the bevel of the head, and the segments in the bevel. Okay, 6 things, if I counted correctly. So let's start with the length of the pin. So let's make another group, and let's start with the pin itself, and then we make another group with head. So pin, here now in the pin I add data. We need simple real data, so centimeter in this case, and then length. I hope it's spelled correctly. And make a float slider here. I want to have a slider. The step, let's go to 0.1. The maximum 1000 is okay, but I don't want it 1000 on the slider. I go to the slider max, should be, well, 1000 is in this case, it's okay. Default value of 100. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay. I'll give it to the slider max, give it to the 500 on the slider max. So, okay. That means the slider goes until 500, but we can go over it until 1000. If we disable the limit here, we can go as far as we want. So this is this. And then we simply copy this and name it radius. Here, this is okay. Max is 100, but here the radius we don't need more than maximum 50, I think. And the default value will be 5 for me. Okay, nice. Then we make another group. This is the head. In this head we simply copy the length here, control drag it down. The length, but I don't want to call it length here, I'll call it height here. So, okay, and then I copy the radius in here, this is the same. Here the radius and the default at 2, so this is a little smaller, and the radius here 5 is okay. Then we need the roundness here, so yeah, name it simply bevel. So bevel. Start with a value of 0.5, and here max of 20. We can go over it whenever we want, but at 20 is maybe 10 is enough. Okay, and then we need one. How many steps do we want here? Bevel segments or steps. Segments. And here we need a step of 1 because there are just 1 step, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and we start with 3. Okay, this is all we need here. Okay, now we have our pin control here in the pin control, and we have the pin, the head, and we have everything nice. Now, of course, we have to connect this with a little expressor, but it's a very simple expressor. It's just connecting A to B, A to B, A to B. So nothing fancy. Good. Let's go to right click, programming text, expresso, double click. Normally it opens itself, but where is it? It did not open. Open. Okay, this is with this layout maybe, so I could make. Yeah, here it opens. Go to here back. Now I have it. Okay. Good. The first thing we do is drag in the pin control here. And in this pin control, we drag in our sliders here. So the length slider here, the radius slider here, the red corner, everything. Radius, bevel, and bevel segments. That's it. So make this little, so we see everything. Great. So the length of the head is this extrude. So make this this is the head, and the head, the pin, and we need this extrude. And from this extrude, I need this offset value. So I simply drag it in the blue corner and connect it. Whoops. That means normally we should already be able, when we go to the control here, pin control, and we should be able to play with this length here. That's so nice. I love Express, so especially for things like this, you can make it's 10 minutes work, but then if you have a bigger project, it's so easy to change everything. And so the radius of the pin is this circle. So dragging the circle, and what do we need from this circle? We need the radius, and drag it in, and whoops, that's it. Now we are able to change the radius here. See? Don't forget to save sometimes. Now we are on the head. The head height is the extrude, is this extrude here. From this extrude we need the offset. Here I think we have, let's see what we have here in the user data. Oopsie. In this user data pin control, in this height we have a value. The value, let's go to 2 is this value. You can change this later on everyone. So let's go here to 2, and I connect it. Means this should be now pin control. The head works perfect. Then the radius is this circle. We need this radius 5. Yep. Then the bevel is this extrude as well. We could use this extrude as well and then drag it in, but then we have so crossovers. I don't want the crossovers, so I drag it in again. The bevel in this case is this size of the roundness here. Bring it in, and the bevel segments. Here we can use the same one. The segments are here. Drag it in. And we are done. So now our whole rig should work. So when I go to the pin control, I have now here the pin radius. And what we should change when we have the radius too big, we should be able to change the number here so that we get the roundness here. Yeah, that's, but nobody needs this big, but we are here, so why not doing it? So the radius was 5, but in between the radius and the radius segments, I will call it. So let's go to pin control and user data. Control drag this to here, so copy it to here and name it radius segments. Radius segments, and here I start with 4. Okay. Go into the Express. Again, I don't see it. Okay, let's go back and back. Okay. This circle, so we can use this circle as well. The number is 4 here. Okay. And I need to drag in here in our control the radius segments. Let's try to bring it here in between. Sometimes not so easy. Okay. Okay. This should now work. So when I make this radius really big, I should be able to go up with the radius seconds. Yep, perfect. Save. The nice thing here is we can, even if we make our cloner, so we can now take our pin here and drag it into cloner. So, and but you see now we are far too big with the pins. So now we are simply able to change this. We want to make the radius of the here the radius of the pin 1, the radius of the head maybe 3, still too big. Yeah, but we have a very high dense mesh at the moment on the polygon here, so let's go back to 100 here. Okay. Pin control to major thumb. The radius of the head. So this is 2 looks nice. 2 looks perfect. Then so let's make the 0.5 or something else. 0.8. Okay. The fun thing here is, of course, we can now make the height of this go back and have nice pins here, or we make something like a sphere here. So let's make the height and make the bevel bigger. So we get something like a sphere here, which looks crazy nice. Okay, we have nice NA. We have nice pins now. Save, and everything still should work, of course. So let's bring in our bunny. We don't have to see our polygon at the moment, so go with the collider, go in the front, and we have this nice thing going. Okay, but in the games here we have, they don't look so far out, so when we make, I don't recreate this one. This is very easy to recreate this blades. These are 2 blades and blah 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 and cylinders. We should be able to, if you want to see this, somewhere is in the internet is a GSG tutorial for Grayscale Gorilla tutorial, and I think Chris Schmidt recorded this. It's, I don't know how long it's ago, I think about 10 years or even longer, and maybe you find it, just search for GSG tutorial pin toy thing, but I simply make it like this. I make a cube here, and drag the cube. Oopsie. Drag the cube somewhere in the middle to here, so 50. Okay, make the cube smaller, something like that. So let's go to 20 here. This is 400 by 400. Or 600 by 600. So drag the cube even further from so, something like that. So we have like a gallery, so we can make a picture like this. So if we wanted, so we can make them even bigger, so let's go to 800 by 800. It doesn't matter how big this is. Save it. And we have our thing. But now this we want to colorize this, of course. We have already the Octane file is already on Patreon. You can download the Octane file, but it's very easy. It's just a MoGraph color shader to get some different colors in the height. So maybe we don't even need a MoGraph shader. We could make this with a flat protection with a gradient, but let's make it with a MoGraph shader. That looks a little nicer. So for the moment, this is the wall. I'll drag it to somewhere here, so, and hide it. Now the cloner gets an plane effector. So plane color. In the parameter we only want to affect the color, nothing else. You see, so fields color. So now we go to the fields and make a linear field. You see already? There is something. Let's go to plus C and make it maybe 50. And you see, we get this colorization. And this, of course, we can use. So let's start with the physical render. So and I show you how to do it. Because as far as I know, I did not try it as a physical render. This thing, I did it only with Octane. In Octane, it works. The color shader works with multi instances, but I think with the physical render, you have to go to render instances at least. Let's try it simply. Let's make a new material. Double click in the material manager. Here, reflection. Let's go here to conductor. Why not? Something like chromium should be fine. Good, good, good. We could now colorize it here directly, but I want to color. Oops. I want to color here. Good, so I need my MoGraph color shader. MoGraph color shader. And a colorizer. The colorizer is here. So, and load preset. I make some, just to see what I get, I make some colorful thing and put it on my cloner. You see, at the moment I see nothing working here really, so let's go to the reflectance and roughness up here. Well, for the moment we can simply disable it. And let's go to the cloner and go to render instances. Yeah, that's what I meant. In Octane you can work with multi-instances here. We need the render instances, they are a little slower than the multi-instances, but you see you can still work here. This is quite nice. So let's make here, what is it? Heat. Looks quite nice, and now you can see, okay, I have the yellow here, but maybe I want a little white here. So what I do is select this and go with the white. What's up here, so I can exactly do it like I want it. So see, okay, like this. Now I can bring back my reflectance, but of course this looks nothing at the moment. But that's more or less all what you need. So What one is, yeah, let's go back to this fun thing. Is in the front you get this, it looks more like a, don't know, a heat thing or something else. But I really like it. So let's try to make a render with the physical render now. So we need reflectance, of course. What if I bring this colorizer here, copy it, and bring it directly into the color here. No, in the texture here, paste. Okay. Let's see what we get with this. Okay. Now I bring in, of course, my scene rig, so I have something to reflect and so on. Ah, good, okay. This is again, I have to go to my layout here. Bring in here the scene rig, here it works. I did something wrong in the other layout, and every time I forget to repair it, so I don't know, I don't see nothing here. So the background, the floor, no nothing. Because we have the wall here, so I don't need anything more. Save it, and in the render, so I copy this viewport thing and bring in a physical render. Physically, bring it for the moment to progressive to have a very quick reaction here. I'm not sure if we need here global illumination, but bring it in. And I want, of course, ambient occlusion here to have this nice contact shadows. Here I want a current frame. Okay, what do we get when we render this? Ah, this is the wrong GI thing. I don't want the Iridium's cache, I want quasi Monte Carlo. That looks quite nice, but far not ready, so that's of course, we need another another HDRI here. So HDRI settings, this is just the HDRI, that is what gives me the fastest feedback. Indoor and here. Let's take this one here. Or this one. Small hunger. So if I rotate it, okay. I need a little better. Let's go. Oops, not the picture view. I don't need the picture view. No, I don't need this for the moment. Yes, I want to stop this. I want to go to the render settings and go from progressive to fixed with 3 for the moment. So I'm here. You see, we have here a very small arrow. This is the quality and output quality. So I go quiet. Let's make a dark wall so that we see it a little better. Or some material for the wall. Doesn't matter which one, but little dielectric, and bring this on the wall. Now let's have a look how it, how it looks when we clear this one and take the color one instead. Yeah, that seems not to look so nice. Huh? This is okay. We get but I think it was nicer. That's okay. Yeah, the rest I think you can think around, how you want it. It's with the physical render. That's the only thing is it takes a while. It's time to render. That is, of course, we can go down here to 2. Makes it, of course, faster. And I think it was okay before. So go here back to white. And yeah, this is darker, but let's see. We can make here multiply and make the brightness 150 maybe. And let's try with this normal render, so 720. Go to physical, adaptive, medium, and here I go to 15. Shift R to render. That is again on the wrong layout, I think. And I stopped it. Render it here, it doesn't matter, okay. And it needs its time. This is horrible for one frame. Let's try it without. I stay in this layout now for a moment. Let's try it without the. I have to go to the render settings here. Without GI. I don't think we need GI here. And it renders a little faster as well, as you see. Yeah, it is nice, definitely nice. I can make it. Yes, and render again. Yeah, that goes now faster. It looks nice. We have our bunny. Okay, of course the wall has to be, but this is 36 seconds. This is very okay. This is thing. So we can try to make it so we can go back now in the tutorial layout. The wall I want reflectance, less reflectance. So something like that. And I am not entirely sure about the HDRI, so I think this is one what I take the most. So can make it a little brighter when we go with the reflection brightness up. 10 will be too much, I think. No, that's nice. You can even bring in a sunlight, but it makes it all very hard to render for the physical render. But you see, the global illumination makes not really a difference. We can do it without global illumination, without sun. The sun. But this looks so not bad. I want this all a little brighter. See if the light intensity brings us something. In this case, I don't think so. Yeah, this is. But if we turn the fill light on, a little 200. Yeah, so that's something you have to do test. Okay, oh, we don't have the GI on, so this makes it really a big difference. Ah, no, not here. Here it's, on the wall we see that we have the rotation and everything. Maybe we should take here a brighter colorizer thing. So load a preset, load a sprite. If you load here now something nice, let's go back to the render settings and make it here to fixed too. So we get a quicker response here again. Yeah, you definitely get some nice things in word gradient. This is, oh, it looks nice, but again dark. But that looks great. But we can make it on the other side. Bring out the this knot here. I think we make it. Drag out some knots here. So bye bye. I'm not sure why this is. Ah, this is the wrong one. Good. I bring this. Okay. And this is the dark one, so I should have played with this one here. Yeah, this is the. This one I can make darker. Yeah, something like this. Just play around. Okay, I think we know how it works, so I stop here because I could do this for hours until I find my nice render thing. And yeah, I can show you quickly how to do it with Octane Render. As I said, it's exactly the same. So this is delete this. Bring in the Octane Render things. Octane Render. But in the Octane Render, it should work with. I think it works with multi instances as well. So here we don't need the floor. Okay, let's make a new material, a new Octane material. I go in the other thing here, so because here I have my things, so I make my new Octane material. Bring in the Octane material, node editor. So I can bring this guy here. Save it. It looks immediately looks nice, even like this. So in the albedo, I put in an MoGraph color shader, same like I did before. Then in between there comes a colorizer. So load a preset. This one here, and put this on the cloner. Let's see if it works. Yeah, you see, immediately we have it, and this is with multi-instances now. This is, which works even faster. Here, let's go to the metallic. Let's bring it the one. So now we have the metal part here. Little roughness. You see, this is the way it should work. Everything works nice and fast. And maybe like this. Okay, and here let's make a material for the wall. New material. Some glossy materials. RGB spectrum. Roughness. More I don't need here. Okay, this is for the wall. Okay, and different HDRI here. Maybe when I open now this, and go back to here. So, whoops. HDRI. Where's my HDRI? I like. See. So Octane HDRI. Whoop. Yeah, this is Octane. When it works so nice. And honestly, it's long ago that I had a crash with Octane. Yeah, I had crashes, but it was not Octane salt. This was something with Windows. But it works now, so see this nice thing. And what was the next? Yeah, here this Octane is no problem to add some sun. It's not necessary, but totally be possible. So let's see. Yeah, something like that. If you have these fireflies, you can get rid of them if you add the samples or make a camera. And now we can go back here to tutorial layouts. Okay, now it starts to. Okay, so let's get the camera with the Octane tag. And let's bring in again the Octane Render, Octane Reviewer. Okay, we have these fireflies, and when we go to the thing, camera image, yay, started, and here I have hot pixel remover, and this should do the trick. Yep. And here we can, let's go with NQ. I can disable the textures. Let's go to our boss rabbit here. If I find it. So, boss bunny. And R for rotation, and let's rotate it, and we see the preview that everything here works nicely. Okay, that's it now. I hope you like this one. It's better than the original I did, because with the inside stretch we get much better results with the pins. We have wonderful pins we can change here. Maybe let's change something. Let's go out here. So let's go to the. Let's disable the cloner. And make this pin with our great pin control. Make the bevel again to 0.5 here, or smaller, 0.2. We have this nice pin. I want this rounder. This is not round enough, so we can go up with the segment. No, this are the bevel segments. Here we need 3, maybe 4. Yeah, in the bevel I do. That's good. Oh, no, this is not the bevel. This is in the extrude. Let's see if we can here. This is the rounding, extended shape. Is there no topology for this? But maybe in the font we can do this. Font at 40 first and use. No. This thing here. I cannot break from mounting. But doesn't matter. It's not so heavy. And back to our pin control. This one, and I want bevel, not bevel segments. I want radius segments to make this whole thing rounder. Okay, nice. And if we go back to our thing and oopsie doopsie. Render it. Now if you check, yeah, I think that looks even better. Or I'm not sure if I like the spheres, or boss is nice. That looks great with the color I like. But yeah, you have definitely go up with the samplers, because we are here only 200 samples to see. So when you go to maybe 500 samples and then use a denoiser, and you should get a nice render. Okay, that's it. So patrons can download the project files, of course, yeah, on Patreon. And yeah, I'm kind of promise I try to make another tutorial today, but I'm not sure if I get visit or not. It should come visit, but it's not sure. So if not, I will make this one with what I did here with where do I have it? Yeah, this one. This is fun too. But this will be a Patreon tutorial, and so this is really fun. It's a little different reaction diffusion thing. Okay, yeah, nothing more to say. I wish you all a wonderful Sunday. Stay healthy and safe, and have a nice time. And yeah, if you want, please, I always like if you post me your results of the tutorials. And if you have requests, complaints, questions, simply ask. Don't hesitate. You can ask here in the comments on my Facebook site, on our Facebook group, and. If you want to donate, you find a donation link here. And on Patreon, you get now about almost 300 Patreon only sites, so project files and everything for Patreon. So you have a lot to find there, and a lot to do. And so yeah. So thanks a lot for your support. Thanks for watching my tutorials, and for the nice words I always have. So really nice. And hopefully you're with me in my next tutorial. And so all the best. Here from Austria, Vienna. Tschüss und Baba.